there, everybody. This is Kristin from Teaching Balance, and I'm here with you with this week's mindfulness meditation practice. We are in the month of self-love. We have been exploring it from a variety of perspectives, from kindness and acceptance to compassion and just straight up in-your-face self-love affirmations. We've done a little bit of it all. And for this week, what I thought I would do is explore a little more of how to find ourselves perhaps more comfortable with self-love, self-compassion, self-acceptance by reframing it slightly. And maybe I should have started with this, but anyway, perhaps this is the week to bring it up. You've been, some of you maybe are feeling like, can't wait for this month to be over. Or some of you might be like, yeah, best month ever. Or somewhere in the middle. Whatever it may be, here's another one for you to close out this month of self-love. So when we talk about how to reframe things, there's a variety of ways to do that, of course. Sometimes we kind of trick ourselves a little bit. Sometimes, I don't know if you remember from last week, but when we did that self-compassion meditation and you were sending compassion and warmth to yourself, I gave you the option or sort of planted the idea that you could also picture yourself as the younger version of you because, we are educators, at least most of us are, and if nothing else, we're all rather predisposed to be universally accepting of, forgiving of, and unconditionally loving towards kids, whether they're little kids or adolescents. It just kind of makes it easier for people to send that warmth when they're doing it to a version of themselves that's younger. It just has a tendency to work. Now, that's another example of reframing things as a way to kind of loosen whatever boundaries seem to be negatively inhibiting us in some way. So for this week, we're going to do another one of those. We're going to explore this idea of compassion, acceptance, and kindness, and doing so from an external perspective. And I think I'm just going to, if you looked at the heading for this, the title for this video, then you know where I'm going with this. But if you didn't, don't peek, because now it's a secret and I don't want to spoil it for you. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to set my timer for 10 minutes. The big finish on compassion. All right. So let's find that posture that feels supported, but still relaxed. Already, I find I automatically start with the deep breaths, and perhaps by now you do too. So let's go ahead and do those. And remembering that deep breathing is always available and you can come back to it at any time. And so for this practice, we're going to explore somewhat of a visualization. It has qualities similar to last week's, where we are picturing someone. And it's also similar in regard to the very first week of this month, where we did the acknowledging of a challenge and all of the steps after that. So let's go ahead and begin to slide into this exploration of perhaps something that you are grappling with right now. Just like with the other practice, I'm going to invite you to keep it on the small side, unless you feel pretty adept at this. Excuse me, I'm going to cough. Sorry about that. And what I'm going to invite you to do as you bring this challenge or difficulty to mind, Again, the 5-pound weight, not the 50-pound weight. Allowing yourself to picture what the circumstances are around it, who's involved, where it tends to take place. You may already be hearing some of the dialogue of what was said or could be said. And you may already be noticing that there are physiological effects. And if you're noticing any constriction or tightness, just continuing to breathe, remembering that we're bringing up this memory intentionally and that it's not happening in this moment right now. And then I'd like for you to release the image of this challenge. You can set it down, but we're really just dealing with what it feels like. Frustration, anger, disappointment, whatever those emotions are that come up for us. What may be very helpful as a way to help us to internalize, work through, synthesize, and process these emotions is to allow ourselves to think of a dear friend, a loved one who always has your back, is always looking out for you, always on your side. If you have many of those friends, you can either just choose one, or even, if you care to, picture them as a group. Your support group, your posse, your team. And they're aware of this challenge. They can see the emotions that you're feeling. And I'd like for you to take a moment to allow yourself in your mind to hear the words of encouragement that they are offering you. Some of these may take the form of just general cheerleader-like support. Some may comfort the pain that you're going through as a result of this, the difficult emotions. But all of these sentiments are encouraging, supportive. They're exactly what you need right now to be able to deal with this. So letting yourself linger just a little bit longer, I'll give you a little bit of silence and hear what he, she, or they have to say to you as they give you unconditional support, compassion, and warmth. And as you're hearing these sentiments, some of them only once, others perhaps repeated more than once, I'm going to invite you to let them into your heart, really feel them, accept the encouragement. Don't brush it off, don't push it away. Any kindness, compliments, any encouragement that they offer you, I want you to let it in, let it strengthen you. And then when you're ready, I'd like for you to release this image of this person or people. And next, I would like for you to picture a friend for whom it It's so easy for you to extend to them warmth, encouragement. This is your ride or die friend, as the expression goes. The one you'll always back up. You'll be honest, but forever supportive and loving. This person can be in your life now. They might be from your past. They might even be someone who you haven't met yet. So just allow yourself to picture this person. And I want you to imagine that they're going through something very, very similar regarding the challenge or difficulty you were thinking of earlier. They're grappling with something that's hard. They're feeling the same emotions: frustration, anger, exhaustion, whatever it might be. And I'd like you to take a moment in your mind to give that encouragement, support, and love to that person right now, saying it in your mind to them, whatever comes up. Take a moment. And as you continue to say these words of unconditional love and support and encouragement, notice how they, like you did earlier, allow it into them. They allow it to strengthen them and buoy them up amidst this challenge. You can see it's helping and it's making a difference. Allowing yourself just one final statement or phrase. And then as the two of you allow yourself just to hold the space of what it feels like to be supportive and supported, encouraged and encouraging, loved and loving. And holding that feeling in the way it nourishes and strengthens until you hear the final bell. So as you most likely picked up, the idea of reframing this unconditional support and encouragement from a friend or friends and to a friend or friends helps to loosen the resistance that you might feel if it was just from yourself to yourself. So one of the things that I would invite you to do, feel free to replay this and kind of get more comfortable with it. And of course, you can also just do this on your own. You get the gist of it. I mean, really, it's just allowing yourself to receive it from loved ones and then giving it to loved ones. And then ultimately really just remembering that you can do the exact same thing for yourself. And it gets easier the more practice you have. And so by practicing it through this sort of mental exercise, it just allows it to be a little less unnatural feeling, if that's how it feels to you, and something you can get better and better at because, as you probably felt at the end of it, it does strengthen us and it does nourish us and it does buoy us up when we allow in and, of course, send out these qualities of compassion and warmth and support. But sometimes we forget that when it comes to extending it and accepting it ourselves. So, On that note, thank you so much for taking this time for yourself. Thank you for allowing me to accompany you on this journey, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye.